Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Lamson Family Farms. My name is Max, and it has been a while since I have caught you guys up. So, got a lot to catch up on today. I am getting ready to wash up the milking dishes and go do morning chores. It's about 7:30 on a Sunday. But we are officially finished with kidding season. So, it has been a hot minute since I've caught you guys up. But we have been busy with goat kidding, and that is now finished. As of, let's see, our last kid was born last Wednesday. So she's, 4 days old now. And that concluded our kidding season that spanned about 3 weeks. And so I've just been busy feeding everybody. Had a hard time with one of the kids that was born. Just been tired, getting back into the routine of milking. So, and just had less free time now because now that I have to milk, I lose about 3 hours a day that I would have had for projects. So, because now we've got Ray, our Jersey cow in milk, because she had her calf, mid-March, and then now we have 4 goats in milk as well. So I'm milking everybody twice a day, and so chores each time takes me about an hour and a half. So I'm spending about 3 hours a day doing chores now. Whereas before I had everybody in milk and we had kids to feed and all that, I could do chores in 15, 20 minutes each time. So I was doing less than an hour's worth of chores every day. And now I'm up to about 3.5 to 4 hours worth of chores every day. So I'm tired. But it has been a good kidding season, so I'm going to talk about what kids we had, and I am going to include, just in the totals, the November kid that we had out of GoGo, just because I feel like I didn't include her in the spring kidding recap of last year, so I'm going to include her in this one. So we have one kid who was born in November of 2024 out of GoGo, who is now retired, because that means that last year she had 4 kids. She had spring babies, and then she had a November baby, which was a whoopsie. Last fall, when we were trying to get all of the goats bred for our March, for them to kid in March, GoGo would just not come into heat, and we could not figure out why she wasn't coming into heat. And poor thing, we even threw her in with Poe for 3 days, thinking that would help her come into heat, and it didn't. And about a week after we did that, she had a kid. So there was a definite reason why she wasn't coming into heat, and that was because one day last summer, one of our bucks, our junior buck, Annie, got out with the girls, and I honestly didn't think anything of it because he was a lot smaller than GoGo, and GoGo wasn't acting like she was in heat, and she was never very interested in him, so I just didn't think anything of it until November. I came out to the barn and GoGo had a kid. So I looked back through our text messages, Julie and I's text messages, because I couldn't remember if it was just Annie or if it was Annie and Poe who got out that day. And turns out it was Annie, and he bred GoGo that day. They had a nice time, and that resulted in tribute. So that was GoGo's last kid and Annie's first kid, and she was born mid-November. So, and then fast forward to March is when the rest of our kidding happened. I feel like I have so much to update you guys on. We'll do the kids when we go out to the barn. But the other thing that happened within the last 3 weeks, sorry you guys, we sent the pigs to the butcher. So the pigs are in the freezer right now. And we sent them to the butcher, let's see, I think it was like March 24th. And they're back. So very excited to have them all processed and done up. It was really exciting to hear from the butcher about how the meat looked and what he thought of it. So he was actually really impressed with our pork, which I'm very happy about. This was my first time raising this, well, they were mixed breed, but raising big pigs for meat. So we have raised Kunis in the past, which is a lard breed. And while we did send some of those to the butcher, we were mostly raising them to sell registered Kuni piglets. So raising them for meat was not the main purpose of that. So this, while yes, we did raise pigs before, this was with different intentions. And so this was my first time raising the pigs specifically to put in the freezer. So we had the 2 gilts, so 2 girls, and we raised them here for 5 months. That's not dry. We got them when they were 2 months old. So they were 7 months. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to get the milking machine all ready to go. They were 2 months old when we got them. We had them here for 5 months. So they were 7 months old when they went to the butcher. Their hanging weights were 215 pounds and 235 pounds. The butcher was very impressed with the fat ratio on them. He said it was absolutely perfect. He said that when he usually sees pigs in comparable sizes to what we sent, they had a lot more fat on them. He said this was the perfect amount of fat. He said, I wouldn't go any lower, but he also wouldn't go any higher. He said generally when he's butchering pigs about that size, he has to trim off inches of fat around, the cuts. And he said he didn't have to trim any fat off of ours. He said it was the perfect fat amount. So I'm very happy with that. There was a time when it was probably about a month till they were set to go to the butcher. I felt like they were gaining weight too quickly, and I cut their feed back a little bit. I don't remember if I talked about that with you guys, but I kept looking at them thinking, I think they're getting too big. And turns out they were, and I'm glad I cut the feed back. He also said that when he was smoking our hams and cutting up our bacon to be smoked, he said generally he sees about a 40% meat ratio on the bacon for pigs that he butchers, and he said ours was about 60% meat and 40% fat. So I'm very happy with that. It's really nice to hear feedback like that from someone who, their job is to process meat, because I feel like if we had processed our own pigs at home, we would really have no good comparison to what our growing program could change, like how it could change and how we could be better. So it was really nice to have the butcher process them, because he was able to compare ours with other pigs that he sees. And not only that, but he also raises his own pigs. So that was really good feedback to hear. Very happy to have heard that. We are already wanting to get back into raising pigs. So the thing that needs to happen before we can get more pigs is I need to clean out the area they were in. And honestly, that's not in my to-do list for at least maybe a couple of months, depending on the weather. We're in the middle of April. The weather here has still been really crappy. We're still getting into the teens at night. It snowed, well, it tried to snow about twice this week. It's still really cold. We'll get a couple of days that'll be in the 50s, 60s, and then we'll be back in the 20s to 30s for like 5 days. So the weather here is just really we're not out of winter yet. Our first daffodils bloomed last week. The hellebores are just now starting to come up out of the ground. I've got a couple bloomed. The lilacs just have buds on them. So, we're in zone 5A. It's so cold here. I haven't even started the lawnmower up. It's just, and I'm honestly, I'm tired. I'm really tired. I think I need at least a couple more weeks out from us having done all the goat kidding, and it's just, with the milking, it adds hours to my day of time, so I just don't feel like I have the capacity right now to clean out that pig area. I'm gonna have to do it all by hand, so I'm just not ready to do that yet. I still need to finish the chicken coop upstairs in the barn. That has to happen before mucking out stalls, like that's just what it is. So that being said though, once I do get the pig area cleaned out, I think we're gonna jump back into having pigs. now that we don't have anything to eat our kitchen scraps, we're really kicking ourselves because it's just waste. And it was so nice to have something that would eat our kitchen scraps and that we could put back in the freezer afterwards. The pigs were really easy to raise. They ate about 6 pounds each per day of pig food. I would definitely change the watering system, and I'll go over that next time. They went through a lot of water. And they ended up breaking one of the 2 nipples on their watering bin that I had in there with them. And so, they broke it within the last like week and a half of them, before they went to the butcher. So I didn't end up needing to fix it. But I think I would do a different watering system next time. But it was a great space for them. They ate some of the hay that was rougher that none of the other animals liked, which was great. I would definitely do that again. And now that we have our own pork in the freezer, like obviously, yes, we'll raise our own pork again for ourselves in the future, but I would love to be raising pork for someone else. And so I think either next time we will try to sell halves or wholes before they go to the butcher, or we will try to find, I think our closest USDA processor is just in Pennsylvania, across the border, and we will maybe try working with them. So when we were in Washington State and had our farm business, we had a USDA processor that we used, and we sold cuts of pork, lamb, goat, and that was it. Pork, lamb, goat. And we also raised our own chickens, and we had put away beef for ourselves, but we never sent any beef to the USDA processor. And anyway, that was really great because we were able to sell just individual cuts. But you can't sell individual cuts if you don't use a USDA processor. So we would be able to use the butcher that we used for our own if we were to sell halves and wholes. So we would love to be raising more pork for other people. So if you are local and want us to raise your pork for you, we would love to do it. We will probably have pork available again this fall or this winter. So just shoot us a message if you're interested. We would love to do it for you. So one of the other things that I've been prepping for is now that we have lard and goat's milk, is it's time to get back into making goat's milk soap. So we have officially sold out of goat's milk soap as of last winter. We had a Christmas sale and that sold us out. So, which was amazing. Thank you, everyone. So it's time to get back into soap making. And so I've been rendering all of this lard. And hi, Winifred, freezing up some ice cubes. Winifred's over here. Hi, are you coming with me? Yeah? She stayed out all night because she's been in a kick of refusing to be caught at night to go into the barn, which we don't like because the foxes are back. She's been all about chasing birds at night because the robins and the starlings and the red-winged blackbirds are all back. And so she's been very excitable chasing birds all night. So I'm getting back into soap making, getting everything prepped up, hoping to make my first bars this week. And then they need to, what's the right word? They need to sit for 6 weeks, and then we'll be back into selling soap. So that's very exciting for us. So Ray's over there, and Hyacinth is laying in the background. Ray has been doing really great on the milk stand. She's a first-time cow. Some people still call them first-time heifers, but she just had her first calf. She's been absolutely wonderful on the milk stand. Very patient. Has only fussed a little bit, but she's not kicking. She's really no trouble. She's fantastic. My only qualm with her right now is she is not eating as much as I want her to eat. So I've been trying to push as much grain on her as I possibly can. She stops eating, well, she eats less than I would like her to. I feel like her condition could be improved. I've been trying to play around with what feed she likes because I'm trying to get her to eat. I think I'm about to go buy alfalfa pellets to see if she will eat that. So I would really like her to be eating more. She's eating about 16 to 20 pounds a day. I've been trying to give her about 24 pounds a day. And I know that's a lot, but I would like her condition to be up a little bit more, and she's also milking 5 gallons a day. and I'm not pushing it. So she's filling up the bucket. I let her fill up the bucket, and my bucket's between 2.5 to 3 gallons each milking. So she does that twice a day. And our hay is not the best quality hay. So I want her to be eating while she's on the stand. And I've been trying a dairy cow blend. I've tried an oat mixed with oats and all stock and cow pellet. And she's also getting about 3 pounds of black oil sunflower seeds each milking. And so I feel like it's probably enough to keep up with her milking, but I also am trying to get her condition up. And it's just kind of a double whammy. You know, she's a Jersey. She was already probably a little under conditioned beforehand. Winifred is so ridiculous. Flip you around so you can see Winifred up in that window trying to catch the birds. So anyway, there's Ray. So I'm trying to keep her condition on as well as I can, also because we want to breed her back in probably 2 months. But she is doing really great. I'm just trying to figure out the right food mix for her. Our other plan is with the cows is everybody's kind of needing to shuffle now that we've got kids on the ground, we've got lambs, we've got a calf in the barn, we still have the calf from last year in the barn. And so the plan is, okay, I didn't want to spin you guys too fast. So the plan is the cows are getting kicked outside for a while because the weather's getting nicer. Where they were in there on that fence side, Goose is going to go in there for a while. And then I will get the gates to fence in the other side. And then Ray's calf from, last month will go in there. So cows will be outside of the barn. So if I can get the cows out of the barn, because right now we've got Ray's calf and Goose still in the barn, then I'll have more room to spread out all the kids. So the total count for kids, including tribute from last year, was 10. We lost a buckling. I'll go through that with you guys later, but we lost a buckling. Of course, the prettiest buckling, prettiest kid out of the whole year, we lost him. So we're down to 9. So we have 7 does, 2 bucks. We're keeping a buckling. We're going to either sell 1 buckling or wether a buckling. We also added 5 sheep, 5 lambs, who are also on the bucket. 3 girls, 2 boys. The 2 boys are going in the freezer next year. And the 3 girls we're going to keep to start a new flock of sheep. So we have a lot going on right now. And that means we've got 15 if you count the calf, bottle babies, calves, all on the bucket. So who are all going to be on the bucket for at least 8 more weeks. It's a lot. I'm tired. It's a lot. Ray is really the superstar in all of this. She's feeding everybody. We've got 4 goats in milk. They're not keeping up with all the kids they had. We had quads, 2 sets of twins, and 2 singles. We added 5 sheep. We had a calf. Ray is milking 5 gallons a day. She's feeding everybody. She's been absolutely great. I haven't had to buy any additional milk. She's just been fabulous. So I'm trying to keep her in condition because she's feeding everybody in the barn right now. It's been wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to get everybody milked so I can get these guys fed so they'll stop screaming at me. So I'm going to put you guys on a time lapse. Okay, so now I got the goats milked. Now that I have the goats milked, I'm gonna milk the cow. So I just have to move the milking machine over, get that set up for her, and then I'll get milking Ray. So I fed the goat's milk to I've got 4 areas with buckets for milking the babies. So right now I've got in the maternity ward 2 areas. One has the 3 girl sheep and the oldest 3 doeling goats. And then I've got another area in there for the smallest ones. So that's Gaia's quads. There's 3 left. We had the buckling die. And Venus's single, who was born 4 days ago. So they're in there. They have their own bucket. And then a couple days ago, we separated the oldest buckling goat kid and the 2 boy sheep in their own area because they were starting to act very male. And so it was time to separate the girls from the boys. Yes, they are only like 3 weeks old. And so they're now in the area I had I had Tribute in with the big girl goats. So they have their own little area in there. And then behind me, you can see her right now. I've got Calf, who we're pretty sure we're going to register her under Raised Red Ellie. And so we'll call her Eleanor or Ellie for short. And so she has her own bucket for milk too. So, but I fed all the goats milk to the youngest 4. And then while I was milking Gaia, because Gaia takes forever to machine milk out for some reason, she has a really slow stream when we're machine milking, but she's a great hand milker. Anyway, so I filled up the smallest 4's bucket and took that time while I was milking Gaia out to show the youngest one, Venus's single, more about like how to use the bucket, because she's still not quite getting up to it, but when she's latched on it, she will drink out of it. So she still needs a little bit of guidance to like actually get to the bucket. So I just do that twice a day and she's fine. Okay, so I am gonna put you guys on a time lapse while I milk Ray. Okay, so I just got Ray milked out. She actually filled up the bucket this morning, and so I milked out a little bit more after that. And I already got her calf fed, and so I'm gonna go feed the bottle baby kids and sheep, and she's just gonna sit here and eat. So her calf is over here eating. So she's doing really great. It's so funny to compare her to the minis because she's so tall. She's like all legs. She's doing really good though. She'll be, what, a month old this week? Yeah, she's very sweet calf. And then I still have, so she's got in here, I've got Poe right there, and then I've got the other 2 boy goats. Okay, so the first goat today was Gaia, and she had twins, boy, girl. And I've got the buckling in with 2 of the boy sheep that we got. So when we got the sheep, the bottle lambs, we got 2 boys, 3 girls. And so right now I have all the girls in the maternity ward, which is where I am right now. And I've got the 3 boys out with in their own area with the big girls. So he is out there. He's very beautiful. He's long, level, very thick. He's a very nice looking buckling. The doe might look even better than him. She has got a great straight back. She's long, she's thick, she's just very, at the same time, like slender looking. I just really love her. She's definitely staying for a while. So let me get her. This is her. So she is, let's see, she's almost, she'll be a month old next week. So she's here. She looks exactly like Gaia, her mom. And then the boy looks just like Poe, so one of each. But here she is. This is our first keeper girl out of Gaia, so very happy with that. Haven't decided on a name yet, but here she is. Isn't she cute? She's just really beautiful. I'll be posting more photos of her online when we get everybody out in the spring for their photos. Last year we got everybody out of the barn and did spring photos, and those are the photos on our website, and we really like those. So next up we had Daffy, and she kidded twin girls. So this was her first freshening, very excited for that. This is Noni's daughter, the only daughter that I kept. So Daffy had twin girls, and they are both named and registered already. So it's a little bit of a backstory, but Daffy's registered name was supposed to be Narcissus poeticus, which is a type of daffodil. So her kids were doing daffodil varieties of their names. And now we have a sheep out. Come on, you guys. This is one of the bottle baby lambs. So when we named Daffy's kids, we chose daffodil varieties. So we have More and More. The twins look very similar. This one has frosted ears and the other one has self ears, which we really wanted. They are sired by Annie. So we've got More and More. And then we have My Story Double, which is my favorite. And she might, personality-wise, she might be my favorite kid this year. She's very sweet, very quiet, very much acts like Noni and Daffy. So those are our three bigger girls. I'm gonna put them back real quick. So we've got them separated right now. We've got the bigger girls in together. So let me take you over here. And then I've got a group of smaller goats who were born last week. So this is, let's see, sorry, losing track. This is Patience's quads, although we only have 3 left. One died, the buckling died. He was gorgeous, but very small. And I wasn't there when they were born. I got there like right after, and I didn't think he was alive, and he was. And I got him going again, but he was just weak from the get-go, and he died within about 36 hours. So we have 3 left, and then we also have Venus's single gigantic doeling in here. So this pen is 3 girls, 1 boy. The boy we will probably weather and keep. He's our only weather boy. We had the buckling pass away, we only had 2 other boys. So out of 10, we had 7 girls, 3 boys. So it was definitely a doe year for us. And I can't remember if I said this earlier, but Annie, this is his first year with kids on the ground, and he was had 3 kids. He had 3 doelings. So I was very happy with that. Poe this year, he's generally about half-half. So this year for him, let's see, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 total. He had 4 girls, 3 boys. So about half-half. Last year, I think he was like 5 and 4, or like 6 and 4, swinging towards the boys. So a little bit more with the doelings this year, but still about half-half. So let me find a place to put you guys, and I'll show you the kids. So we'll start with the last born. So this is Venus's single doeling. She's beautiful. And she is just massive. She has tan points. She is a black roan, and the roan is really starting to come out. And she has can on her legs. She is just gigantic. She's already bigger than the 3 left out of the quads from Patience. And so this is our first keeper girl from Venus. Last year I kept her single buckling, which is Morrison, and they're both sired by Poe. So now I have full sibs, 1 girl, 1 boy. And we're gonna keep Venus and probably Gaia for at least when we're kidding, and then we'll see what we get out of that, and we might end up selling Gaia and Venus. And then, so this is the next three are Patience, and she's, we're working her towards becoming American Nubian. So these guys are all going to be 50% grade. And so we're keeping the girls, and the boy will be weathered because we can't register him. And then we're working towards having American lines from them. So this is the boy. He would make a really good homestead buckling. He's also very big, especially for being a quad. But very pretty. He's brown and white. No roan. Very cute. So he's very sweet. I actually need to disbud him tonight. And then we have two girls. Brown and white. I really like her. I think she's very sweet. No roan on her. And then we have a smaller girl. She has roan. She's brown roan with white and moon spots. She's very pretty. I don't know if you can see it. She's got some couple moon spots on her rump right there. And they're all doing really well in here. Okay, so we've got girl, 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 and then the boy. And then there's Onslow. He's really taken his responsibility for sleeping with these little guys, keeping them warm. He really loves cuddling up with them. And then over here, we've got, so the three girls up on the table, and then the three sheep on the ground. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the kidding recap. This is why I have not been online lately. Sorry about that. I know it's been like 3 weeks. But I've been busy, and things are finally starting to settle down. I've got a couple more disbuddings to do. I've got everybody's CD&T and coccidia treatment schedules all planned out. Been working on disbudding. I need to do that buckling tonight. Might be tomorrow. But I've got everybody kind of planned out. Everybody's doing really well on the bucket, so that's saving me a lot of time. I don't have to wake up in the middle of the night multiple times now. But I've just been tired. I've got the calf in the other room, and I'm just getting used to milking everybody twice a day. So, but I do hope to get back into the projects. I hope to have a video sometime soon about the chicken coop. So I have been trying to work on that in my kind of downtime. I got a little bit of progress done this last weekend, and I need to just frame in the front wall, and then I think it'll be time to move the chickens. And so I'm working on that, and I do still need to finish up taking down that grain area upstairs in the barn. I've got 2 walls left that I just kind of abandoned because I got busy. And then I fully expect after that it's going to be time to get into the garden and get going on some fencing. So thanks for joining me, everybody. I appreciate you being here. Sorry I've been kind of non-existent for a while, but I'm hoping to get back into the videos here soon.